natural classical dance elements, and he's been in some high-profile music videos, so you may recognize his face. He's currently a part of the Vuyani Dance Theatre team, and their latest project is called Scion, where they've brought the author Zegzenda's character of the mourner, he's a professional mourner, excuse me, by the name of Doloki, so they brought that character to life on stage in a dance piece. So, we're about to get an experience and a half, so please help me in welcoming Mr. Musa Motha.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Musa Motha, and I'm a cancer survivor. Yes, I'm a dancer. I'm a self-taught sound engineer. I'm a choreographer. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a photographer. I'm a filmmaker. This list is too long. I don't know if I'm going to. Okay. One of the things that I hate to do is to prepare a speech, because right now my theme was believe, and Goliath just took everything out of my mouth. But yeah, I'm going to try to be, natural. So yes, everything started when I was 11 years old, when I discovered that I have cancer. So basically I was a soccer player, and then everything just happened that it didn't go right. So my dream was to be a soccer player, a professional soccer player, play for Pirates, Chiefs, go to United States, play for, or Spain, play for Barcelona and all that, But something happened. We were playing, and I was playing for Ajax Academy, and then this guy kicked my knee. And then from that day, the whole year, my knee started to swell up, I began to ask myself questions. Why does God has to take my dream away just like that, Okay, the process came up. So I still had that question, And then the pain was just so, I don't know if there's a word for it, but it was so painful, Every day we knew that me and my mom, we have to wake up 11 o'clock at night. We have to ease the pain. She gives me painkillers. So there was this day, the painkillers couldn't do anything on it. And then my mom decided to call an ambulance. And I went to the hospital. That's where my journey started. A very good one. So yeah, I went to the hospital for the first time. And the doctor couldn't find anything. I slept there for like a week. They could call specialists from Johannesburg hospitals. There was a specialist from Cape Town. They came through, couldn't find anything. It was so difficult for me to cope. I was a little boy, 11 years old. I didn't know what is happening, but I was still focusing on the pain, But something, happened, and then they sent me from hospital to hospital. So this took me a year, going from hospital to hospital, going from Smoking Hospital to Baragwanath. I just be there for like 2-3 months. They couldn't find anything. They called specialists from Swiss. I forgot his name. He came with his team. There was like a room full of doctors and a little boy sitting on a chair. All of them, they came, and then they checked what is happening. They did tests, they did all of that, but they couldn't find anything. And I was like, okay, Mom, what is happening now? And she was doing, she always cried, always crying. I'm like, Mom, no, you're wasting your tears. It's time now to act, And then there was this day, like, okay, we need to do a biopsy. So a biopsy, It's a surgical process whereby they take your bone marrow and then they do tests. So that's what happened, and then the results came back, and the doctors found that I had cancer. So they told my mom, like, okay, this is cancer. Do you know what cancer is? She's like, yeah, I know. I know that cancer is like a disease that old people get. You know what I mean? She's like, no, your child, your son have cancer. And I'm like, no, that can't happen. It's impossible. You know. That's where they started to, tell her and explain what is happening now. And then yes, she had to come to me and explain, Musa, but you in a cancer. I'm like, what is that? Is that like stage 5 of flu? I was like, no, cancer is a serious thing. But I was young, I couldn't understand, I mean, I took it as if like, okay, so do you have treatment or do we have something to do so that, can get away with this? I want to go back to school. I want to play with other kids. And then, yeah, that's what happened. And they started to, send me back to hospital, Baragwanath Hospital, Ward 43. They told my mom about the chemotherapy, the treatment. So, yeah, I started my treatment. A week went by, and then they tested again. Nothing happened, couldn't shake anything. And then they told my mom, we need to amputate his leg. And she came in my ward crying, like, Musa, Mtanam, they want to amputate your leg. The thing that came in my mind was like, when can they do it? Like, I want to do it now, Like, no, how could you even think about that? We have to think about the odds. I'm like, no, there are no odds. If this is what was supposed to be happening, then let it be. I want to go back to school. And then the whole family came, they prayed and all of that. And yes, at that process, okay, can I pause there? You can see the bottle of water. We all may guess the weight of it, the mass of it, but the main thing is it can be like 1 kilogram or 750 grams. The weight doesn't matter. What matters is how long are you holding on to it. And again, for me, it was one of those things. I was holding on to this pain, and I had to just let it go. So what I did is, holding on to this bottle, what you can do is just put the bottle down. So that's what I did. Told my mom, you know what? Let's just cut this leg and start on a new leaf. And then that's what happened. I went through that. Then continue with my chemo. I won't lie, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. You start losing your hair. You start getting short-sighted. You start, okay, my livers were both burned by chemotherapy. My heart started to beat slower. Everything was just going on south, But because of the belief that I had, like Goliath said, when you're a child, you don't just go deep into things. You don't have filters. But your belief is the strongest point. It's the strongest weapon that you have. So I believe that I'm going to conquer this, And yes, I did. Everything that was happening, I lost friends. I lost my peers at the hospital. I had a best friend called Katleho, and he passed away, It wasn't easy for me, but that gave me that thing which, you know what, Musa, you need to push more harder. You need to focus. You need to be strong for this, because now I was starting to be weak, losing weight, changing. My facial appearance was just, there was this day I was sitting there and my mom came into my ward. She just put her bag there and looked at me. I knew the routine was, she came in and then she kissed my forehead. So this time she came, she looked at me like, and then she dropped the bag and then she went out. At that point, she couldn't see that it was me, So, yeah, she came back crying, like, Musa, like, where's Alam? Why ufitile? Why ukukla ulla? You know what I mean? She was like, I can't see it's you. I'm like, whoa, what is she saying? And then right now, when I define that, I define it as it was a moment of change. I was changing, I was transforming from one thing to another. And then that's where my purpose started to come up. And yes, I finished my treatment. They started to offer me prosthetic legs and all of that. I was like, okay, let's try and put it on, walk. I'm like, nah, that's not for me, that's not me. If I was meant to be like this, then let it be, And then I started to go home, meet up with my friends. It wasn't the same as it used to be, They changed, like, oh, okay, you look different now. Okay, I was like, it's fine, And then I went to school, primary, went up. In the beginning of my high school years, I started to love music. The people from Rich for a Dream organization, they offered me, they actually gave me a sound system. So I started to DJ. I'm a DJ, so they started to yes, I started to DJ. So this thing was just, there was this thing inside me when I play music. I was like, these people are dancing, but they're not doing it for me, I feel like there's something missing. And then what I used to do is like, I play music, boom, and then I go to the dance floor and dance with them, And yeah, that's where everything started. I started to take it serious. And then my friends started to teach me Isbujwa. They used to draw things on the floor, like a four-corner thing, and then they used to teach me how to do this. The left crotch needs to be your left leg, you know what I mean? And that's where it started. Everything that you do, And then I started to take it serious. I practiced the whole week, and then I joined the group. And then yeah, the group started to, flourish, started to go like wild now. And then we started to go to competition. We won our first competition. It was Red Square Dance competition, and then we won it. It was in 2013. Took the first prize, and then the second year we took the third position in the Red Bull Beat Battle, which is the biggest dance competition, street dance competition in South Africa currently. And that's where I started to get recognition. I was lucky enough that somebody was there to watch the competition, and hey, looking at me like, Musa, we want you to audition for this music video. Actually, we want you in it, because we send the videos and those people want you, So you just go to the auditions just to make things official, formal. Like, okay, what is this? Who is this person, And they didn't want to tell us. And I went there, boom, auditions, and then they took me. And then, on the day of the shoot at the set, that guy showed up, boom. He was like, I want my lead dancer. Where is he? And when I looked, that person was Drake. I'm like, what? Drake in South Africa? What? You know what I mean? So yeah, and then he came to me, like, shake my hand. You feel special when somebody walked in from that, and then he just passed people like, no, I'm not looking for you, I want that person. You know what I mean? So he came to me like, hey my guy, how are you? And then he called my name, like, hey Musa. I'm like, oh yes. And then yeah, it was a great experience. We worked, and then that was my first international collaboration. And then yeah, I started to get more recognition. I'm like, I've been doing street dance now. What else? What else can I do? Because I'm always eager to do a lot of new stuff. I want challenge. And then there was this person is a big deal. His name is Gregor Makoma. He owns a company. He's a creative director of Vuyani Dance Companies, one of the biggest companies in the world, dance companies. So he saw my videos, and then he asked me to come through, to audition. And then it was a thing of, come and audition, we want to see how can we work with you. And then bear in mind that I was a street dancer at that point. I knew Ispanzula and Spujwa and hip hop. They do contemporary. I was like, okay, when you get there, like, fit parallel, what is that? What is fit parallel? I see people, oh, fit parallel. Okay, yeah, keep distance apart. Open up your chest, sunshine. I'm like, what is happening here? Well, you know? And then, yeah, I started to gel. So the first thing that I did is I used to dance with both my crutches holding on, you know. So I don't use my hands. I use the crutches. Everything that I do, I use my crutches. And in there, the first move that he did in the class was to, let's take off, let's be in the position. I'm like, okay, what is happening now? I was like, no, it's not working. Okay. And then your right hand. Okay, and then I did it. And then on this, he shifted. That's what he did. And then I was like, how am I going to do that? I'm like this, like, oh. And then he was like, I don't know if he made it on purpose. He did that on purpose. He's like, Musa, are you okay? And then the whole people looked at me. Like, can you do the next move? I'm like, how am I going to do that? You know, it's like, no, figure it out, you know. And then my mind started to convert, you know what I mean? I started to convert to do things like, how can I do this, you know? How can I? And then I started to remember the bottle, you know. If something is holding you back, just put it away, you know. You know what I started to do? I started to put down one crutch. I was like, I'm going to show him, I know this. And he said, move to the side. I moved it everywhere. Like, oh, okay. It's getting there, you know. And then, move to the side, let's turn. I don't know how to turn, you know. People are turning, I'm turning, and you know, I want to fall. I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? So the process is, I learned everything. And I know that an able body, when they choreograph something, it's completely different for me. So what I do is, I look at it, I analyze everything, because my best friend is gravity. So I need to do everything with the gravity. So if they turn, I know that they use their left leg to balance so that they can have a perfect turn. And for me, like, I'm flying, you know. But I learned how to hold myself. I know, okay, I need to hold my muscle. You know, I need to hold my core. I need to, you know, squeeze up, you know. I need to lengthen more. You know, those are the things that I taught myself, you know. And then, up to today, yes. Up to today, you will see, I'm going to perform for you, you know. And yes, from there, you know, my dream was to go to New York, you know, and just to go to the city and, you know, look at the beautiful city, you know, because I've seen it in the movies and all of that. Now I want to be there, you know, I want to be that great dancer, and I want to travel the world and all of that, you know. And there was this season that we did in September. So it's called Sion, it's a production. So in that piece, there's this one person who is Tologi. That person is a professional mourner. Just think how weird that is. You just go to funerals and then you cry. Like, okay, that's weird, you know. He doesn't have feelings. He doesn't have emotions and stuff. He just do it. You know, he doesn't know the feeling of how to lose a person. How is it like to lose a person, you know, that is close to you. So that whole piece is about that. But at the end, he finds somebody who he loves, and then that person dies, you know. And then in that area is a village. So basically, they were slaves, you know. And then all the women who were slaves, they get them pregnant, and then when they give birth, they take their children, their babies. They don't allow you to bond with the baby. So as soon as you give birth, you and the baby, you just, you know, is that, you know. So you don't know your baby when you grow up. When you meet up, you don't even have the connection, you know. So in the story, I was one of those babies, you know. But in my case, I was dead, You know, the choreographer killed me. Like, no, you're not alive in this piece. You are a spirit. I'm like, okay, it's fine. You know, I'll do my best. And then yeah, in that piece, I'm actually Toloki's son. You know, when every time, like even when we start the piece, I'm always behind him, looking at him. You know, he looks at me like, I can connect with you, but I don't know what is it. You know, that's always the case. Like, we have this connection, but I don't know what it is. You know, so yeah, that's what happened, and that season went well, and I started to get international recognition. You know, it was buzzing, and when I saw myself on ENCA, I'm like, this is a big deal. You know what I mean? And they're calling my name on TV, like what? You know, and yeah, and fortunate enough, the news in New York, they were talking about me. You know, I see tags on Facebook, like they tagged me, Israel, Spain, I don't know how many countries, but it was there. You know, I even took screenshots and then I posted them on Facebook. And I was like, okay, so it is true that if your dream doesn't scare you, then it's, you know. And yes, and yeah, after that season, we got an invite to come and perform in the dance festival called Fall for Dance. So Fall for Dance is a dance festival in New York. So yes. So yes, I actually didn't believe that, you know, this is happening, you know, and it is happening in a short period of time, meaning that anything is possible. Nothing is impossible. Not unless you believe that it is not possible, then it won't be possible, you know. And yeah, I flew to, you know, to New York. It was great. It was amazing. I don't want to lie. Best moments of my life. I used to buy this big pizza for $2. It's nice. So yeah, it's amazing how my life changed from being that Musa who wanted to be a soccer star to something else. I believed in what God gave me. You know, like, use what you have, and you know, I found the purpose of, you know, when every time I dance, when I get off stage, somebody came to me and was like, my guy, truly speaking, to be honest with you, tonight I was going to hang myself, to kill myself, but because I saw you, I changed everything. That changed my life too. I'm like, you know. So yeah, I really, you know, I really appreciate what I did, what I do for people. You know, I took myself as, you know, I restore your belief. You know, when every time you see me on stage, I know that, you know, I need to deliver. You know, because I used to get that thing when I step on stage, feel like, what is happening? Is he going to do those dance, like, you know, kanti ay. You're going to see flames, you know. And yeah, I always preach one thing, and I'm so strict when I talk about that thing. I have this organization that I want to start. It's called I Am Possible. So basically, my slogan goes like, nothing will ever be impossible for Musa. Instead, I break the word impossible into two. I am possible. And yes, in this organization, what I want to do is, I got so mad sometimes. Like this day, I was driving by and I met up with this person at the Roberts. He was an amputee, and he was, you know, begging money for people. And I stopped on the side of the Robert and I called him. You know, I didn't get out of the car. I called him. Hey, my bro, please come here. And then he came. I was like, you need money? I'm like, he was like, yes, please, I need money. What are you going to do with money? I want to buy food, you know, I'm hungry and all that. I'm like, do you have, like, where you live? Like, yes, I don't get any support from home, you know, all that. I'm like, okay, alright, cool. So what if I decide to give you 100 rand? What are you going to do with it? It's like, I'm going to buy food, and then, yeah, buy food for the whole week, you know. I'm like, how about I give you this 100 rand, and then you go print, or you go type a CV, you know, and after typing a CV, send it to, you can send it everywhere, the internet cafe, go to Pick and Pay or any supermarket, and then you tell them that you need a job. They won't tell you that no, they won't allow me to work because I am disabled and all of that. He started to do the PD talk. I'm like, I'm starting to get annoyed now. I'm like, okay, all right, okay, let me give you this 100 rand. He gave me 100 rand. He's like, thank you, your tingu gula and all of that. I'm like, wait, and then I started to get out of the car. When he saw that I'm an amputee too, he started to cry. He's like, Ishputi, you can take your money. And I'm like, no, I'm giving you the money, and try to do something positive about your life. Don't think about the money that they give you, the SASA money. I hate it so much that, when I started to open up my eyes and I realized that I was receiving that money, I cut it. Told my mom, you need to stop this money. I don't need it. There are people who need it more than I do. I know I can do more, but I need to cancel it. And when I went there and canceled thank you. And then when I went there and canceled it, everyone was in shock. I was like, why would you do that? You're going to give it to somebody else who's going to misuse it. I'm like, no, that's not my concern. My concern is our country right now is suffering and our currency is really drowning in water. What are we doing with this money? You're telling people to sit back and get that 1,500 every month. They won't do anything. They just go chill and then wait for the first. Oh, it's the 31st today. We're waiting for the first. And on the first, they go to the ATM, take out the money, and then they misuse it. You know what I mean? So my dream is I want to stop it, more especially for amputees. I'm going to tell, oh my God. What I want to do is, my organization is going to have an institution. In that institution, I want them to get training more specifically. Training are called technicians, sound engineers, filmmakers, IT specialists, and they just provide training for amputees. So in my school, 100%, okay, let's say 80%. I use the 80%. 80% is going to be all the physically challenged people, and then they train them in different fields. Let's say they train one to IT, and he does IT. And then on the side, I want them to have a social entrepreneur training or a program. So they teach them to have a business, to create a business or make a business for themselves, and then open a company. So each and every student that is going to graduate, we're going to make sure that they get their own companies, and in their company they need to hire 80% of the physically challenged people, and in that 20% is just and in that, my mentor was telling me that for that SASA money we need to do something about it. So I'm like, no, let's just when every time somebody graduates and they get their company, we cut the money. We make sure that you don't get the money anymore, because we want to contribute. We love our country. I love my country, and I'm like, this is going to be my contribution. And again, the main purpose here is to cut the thing over to, I'm physically challenged. I can't do anything. I need to sit down at home, watch TV, wait for the first of every month to get the money. No, you need to work for that money, like everybody else. That is why they get different treatment when they get to, other stuff. And I don't want to lie. A lot of things that happened to me, I did wrong things. Like my mom used to tell me that my first car needs to be automatic, and I went like, what? Why? Because I can't drive a manual car. And then the next day, I pulled up in the Corsa, Smolanyana Corsa. It was a manual car. And it was like, Musa, who brought this car here? I'm like, but that was the wrongest thing I've ever done in my life, because I know with the law that was wrong, And I went to change it and got an automatic and stuff. And again, that's having the drive of winning. it's not always the best time because there are odds of winning. When you win something, you relax, But find something that will always drive you to push more. Don't let anything pull you down, basically. And again, be always positive. I always find positive out of negatives, even if it's like 1,000 negative things and then there's like half positive one. I'll always work with that half. And with that, I want to thank you for listening, and yes, let me give you a performance.
Choose to make a positive impact. LeadSA.